and welcome to this edition of Let's Talk About It, where my guest today is none other than Mr. Willie Gardner. Willie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, we have people on the show that are in business, we have entertainers, we have all types of people on the show. Mr. Gardner actually has some ideas that he thinks can be implemented into the world that can make this a better place for us to all live. Mr. Gardner, now I know one of the ideas that you had was about energy.
Right.
Yeah, if you could just tell me a little bit about energy as you see it.
The way I see about energy is I want it to be like a line for example, like a freeway, and side the freeway, you got these boxes of for energy to be in like a battery.
Okay.
And what you're gonna do is you stretch something across the road, and it pumps the air and make friction
To build energy.
build energy like a bicycle pelleting the energy, and I think that would solve some problem because you could use these batteries all kind of ways.
Okay. You know what? I think that's a good idea. So what you're saying is you have created something that energy can be stored up. Like for instance, when a car runs over this particular mechanism, energy will actually be created
Right.
and stored
Right.
that can actually be used for a later date.
Right.
Okay, and this is simply by having something on the freeway
Right.
that's a line that people will simply drive over 1,000,000 times a day,
Right.
and each time it's driven over, then energy is being stored up in this box that can be like a battery or some type of mechanism that can actually house energy.
Right.
Okay, therefore, cutting down costs for various things that we would need energy for.
Right.
Okay, such as what?
Such as, in other words, just like your household use, you can have this big battery. Instead of the electric company out there, I ordered this battery type electrical for just like you order gas to come to your house, and
Okay,
so you order it and they exchange it, and you use it till the battery go down, or have some type of generator thing to build it back up, or whatever. But the main thing is you have a big battery source
okay,
moving power, and it's gonna be cheaper in the
okay,
long run.
okay, okay. I'm just curious, how did you come up with these ideas?
I'm very creative.
Okay,
I'm always been creative, and what I done was I used to give my wife $1,000,000 ideas all the time.
okay,
She never do nothing with it.
uh-huh,
So one day, she took one of my ideas and she wrote Bill White.
Bill White being our former mayor.
Former mayor.
Okay,
And that's when the work began. Because I can give her the idea, but I'm the only one who can tell it because I'm the only one who know it.
because it's in your head, it's your creation basically.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that's how I got started with this project. But I've been doing this all my life, off and on. It's just like I can't explain it. I just can do it.
right, right.
They asked me what college you went to. I said college. I said I barely finished high school. And they often ask me these questions. Well, you're very intelligent. Well, thank you very much, but I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
So
And you know what? Intelligence doesn't always come from going to college either. Intelligence simply can be as you are in the state that you happen to be in. Yeah.
I could only be myself. I can't be nobody else. I just me.
Right, right. Now, being just you, you've come up with other ideas as well.
All right.
Now, I know we talked about wildfires
Yes.
and ways of extinguishing wildfires. So you have another idea that could possibly be a solution to wildfires.
Yes, I do.
Okay. You can, without going into too much information on that, just briefly touch on how that could possibly be done.
Well, if I say you're gonna put out wildfires, you probably would think of putting it out there with a water hose, fireman hose,
Right.
the planes dropping it, chemicals out the air.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very simple. You can easily have pipeline water from tension ponds
Uh-huh.
and piped in, and it comes up like a water sprinkler.
Okay, so basically what you're talking about is some form of an irrigation system
Right.
that can actually extinguish these wildfires that we're having. And
Right.
I noticed we have a lot of those in California for some reason.
Yeah, now in Texas too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I never really noticed it in Texas so much, but definitely in California. It's like an annual thing in California. Every summer, I think,
Right.
they tend to have the wildfire. So it would be great to have a solution that can actually take care of that.
Yes.
And
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you got some ingenious ideas, obviously.
Oh, thank you.
So, you know, a lot of times we have good ideas. It's just a matter of getting them to the right people so that these ideas can possibly come to pass, if in fact they are things that can make a difference in the lives of the people,
Right.
which is the whole purpose of having it. Now, you mentioned something about animation and Disney. We didn't get into that too much. Explain a little bit more about that for me, if you will.
Well, I was looking at television and President Obama was on that. He was talking to the president of Disney,
Okay.
and I used to work for Disney, so I figured, well, why not? Since the president already know him, so I didn't want people to think that I'm out there trying to get money off of programs and things, grants or something.
Okay.
So, only thing I wanted the president to do was ask the president of Disney to make an animation of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If you like what you hear today, if I had an animation, I can show you better than I can tell you. We could talk all day long, but you're not going to understand everything I'm saying.
Right.
But if I had an animation, I could show you detail by detail, and I just want to put it out there, and so that somebody, NAACP, Martin Luther King, somebody knows that I put this out there, so they won't steal it. It's time for blacks to have something for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I got the ideas, I got it, I got the knowledge, I could draft a lot of it. Let's get started. I could take some of these people off these streets, with begging out there and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can do all that. All I need somebody to do is just work with me. That's all I want you to do.
Right.
So
Right.
that animation could show all this.
So basically, when you say the animation, initially I was thinking of caricatures and cartoon stuff when you said animation. But what you're actually talking about is like a rendering or a drawing that basically shows how the processes of what you're talking about can be implemented.
It would be just like real animated people. The line that I was talking about it'll come in
Drawn out. It'll be drawn out. And
yeah, just
okay.
like a movie.
Okay.
It'll be like a movie. It could be cartoonish or whatever. I don't care.
Right.
But as long as it's basically like a movie, and they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go into so much more detail than what we're talking about.
Of course. Right.
And it will show you everything that I'm talking about with the wildfires. I got ideas about saving lives with the car companies, Ford, Chevrolet, NASA. I need them to work together to create this. I can save lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got this invention in my head that you have a wreck, something gonna happen that gonna save some lives. Trust me.
Okay.
It's just so much stuff, and I can go into detail with the animation. I just want to put it out there so nobody, if they steal it, you know, I want it to be known that it's mine. And if somebody steal it, then that means the blacks gonna let somebody get away with it again.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stop right here and go ahead on and do what you got to do toward helping yourself. And I'm gonna try to help the blacks as much as I can, because we need everything that everybody else got, the foreigners and everybody else got. We need that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they got, we need it too.
Uh-huh.
So
Gotcha.
the animation would explain all that if somebody would just listen. But
Okay.
I see you doing your part. You open up the door. We're gonna go forward with this.
All right, well, we got to get started somewhere, and we're going to be back with more of Let's Talk About It with my guest, Mr. Will Gardner, in just a moment, so you guys stick around. All right, welcome back to this edition of Let's Talk About It, where my guest today is none other than Mr. Willie Gardner. Willie, welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you.
All right, now we're talking about different ideas that can help the world and help society in general. Mr. Willie has some brilliant ideas, and that's what we're discussing on today's topic.
Yes.
Now, one of the ideas that Mr. Willie has to do with graves, police, and what was that other one? Graves, police, and funerals. That's it. Sometimes my mind get bad. Y'all know how it is. Now, tell me briefly, what's the ideas that you have for police, graves, and funeral services?
Well, I came up with the idea. Every time you go look around close to my area, there's always funerals going on.
Okay.
And the police, they just be run up down the road with the motorcycle and all that, and holding up traffic and everything. And the thing is for them too on that motorcycle, run up down the road like that. So I came up with the idea with a route that they can use to not be in have no funerals in the road. They can have a route for that. All that would be explained if I ever can do the animation. I can
Okay.
show you, but I can tell you because right now it probably don't sound like it don't make too much sense to you. But I know I know what it's all about.
Okay. And you know what I have to say to that is a lot of times when we have something in our minds, it may not make sense to other people. But as long as it makes sense to us, and if we can find a way to put it out in the world so that the world can see it, so that it can at some point make sense to the world.
Right.
I know that's what you want to do with the ideas and the visions that you have
Right.
in your head to make this a better world in which to live.
Right.
I think all great things start with an idea. Things have to start somewhere. Before the red light was created, it had to be in somebody's head.
Right.
It happened to be an African American who created the red light. There are so many things that we can do, that we can invent and create to make the world a better place. It's good to see that you're busy with some things like that.
Yes, and I'd like to say one more thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Like also, I was laying in bed and I heard Mr. Ben Hall was talking, and I got up and started listening to him because he got some of the same ideas that I got, but he doing it on a Houston level, and I'm doing mine on a national, like United States, doing the whole United States.
More global, not so much localized, but
Right.
on a global and broader scale.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you can always contact his office. That's for sure.
Well, I really hope so.
Yeah, I mean, ain't no hope. You can do it. Yeah, just get online and get that information, and then see if you just never know what's possible. A lot of times we just have to reach out to people, but we never know what the possibilities are unless we take action.
It's just hard for every time I try to get hold to everybody. It seems like it don't work. I need people to help me contact them.
Right. Well, you know what? That's why we have to persevere. So sometimes we fail, we just get back up and we try again. I mean, there's times that I know personally for myself, I've reached out to people that I didn't get a response from, and I reach back out to them and I still don't get a response.
Right.
I reach back out to them, I still don't get a response. You know what I mean? But I have to want something bad enough to continue to try and continue to try and continue to try. So I definitely want you to continue to try in your efforts to make your dreams and your passions come true. Everything that you've seen on the canvas of your imagination, I hope that it comes to pass. And if you guys are animators out there and can do that type of thing, you can certainly reach out to Mr. Willie. In fact, I'm going to give you his email address, and it's askmr.williejames@yahoo.com. That's askmr.williejames@yahoo.com. You can certainly reach him at that email address. And for more information on us at Let's Talk About It, you can contact us by emailing us at letstalkaboutit12tv@gmail.com. That's Let's Talk About It 12tv@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of Let's Talk About It, and we'll see you next time. Take care.